Hello, today I'll be reacting to Super Mario 2 Invitational 2019. Let's hurry up and get right into this.
You can actually go under and over and
Okay, wait guys.
Opening speed
Okay,
run
we're
in
starting.
round 1 of the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019. Let's start the countdown. 2, 1, and go!
Yes, Mario
As
Maker
they get set, they'll be hitting the start button at the same time. The Dragon Feeny on the left-hand side of your screen. Yellow Killer Bee on the right. And already 9. What genre of Mario are we seeing here?
Got a little Super Mario 3D World. How about that? And the slope's coming out immediately, and this is already a new feature. This block, when you ground pound it, immediately goes to
I'm
its full
voting
extent
for
and unveils a new pathway.
one
The Dragon Feeny in early
right
lead
here
decides to
where
go
this
with the
is
right
going
path, and
past.
so does
Okay,
Yellow
this
Killer
one.
Bee. And we see here, Fish, a couple of different paths in these exclamation blocks, providing a little bit of a challenge early on.
yeah, this is the new feature, as Nine pointed out. So you want to be able to use the ground pound to get all of them fully expanded, and from there you can make your way through this level. But I'm surprised that both of them went to the right off the bat, and definitely a little bit of a lead for Yellow Killer Bee. But I wonder how she's going to traverse through the rest of the stage.
Yellow Killer Bee owning her way up towards the top. The Dragon Feeny trying to get a couple of those wall jumps, and the Yellow Killer Bee into the tube early on. And 9, here we go. Our first look at the car. Go ahead, strap in your seatbelt. Get ready for some fun.
Why
Well, I
is
think I've
she?
seen this before. The bounce and going all the way up here. This is all about conserving your momentum. The trick in this segment of the level is you can't mess up because you don't get a chance to build speed a second time.
Yellow Killer Bee driving underneath the thumb. Oh, no, a couple of springs. Has to make a U-turn and go back into traffic. Meanwhile, the Dragon Feeny on your left-hand side still trying to navigate those exclamation blocks. And Yellow Killer Bee, oh, a little collision coverage right there. She bumps into the spikes, looking for the exclamation block, and she's on to the next part here. And already, you see the different things that can be thrown at these players. Dragon Feeny deciding to go to the left, but Fish, Yellow Killer Bee, we've got Cat Mario right here.
Oh, Cat Mario is finally making his appearance, and I like it. I like that Dragon Feeny tried on the right side and figured that she couldn't do it, so she went to the left side where she has the mushroom trampolines, and maybe that would be an easier time for her to traverse through this. But Yellow Killer Bee with a huge lead right now. That needs to use the crawl feature, the wall climb feature there with the Meowser, or the Cat Mario. Doing a great job already here. We got 2 options again with the blue and green. Green, of course, actually goes a little bit slower than the blue.
And 9, Yellow Killer Bee, she's not kidding around. You have to make sure that you handle these moving blocks, and those springs can throw players off quite a bit. When we talked to them prior to this, they said the one obstacle they don't like are springs.
It was a universal answer that they don't like, and you see the Yellow Killer Bee right now. He's trying to use wall jumps and stay ahead of that platform, but you gotta be careful as you're making the jump. I think she's starting to figure it out here. The combination of the climb as well as the wall jumps might get her up, and that's another level clear.
Yellow Killer Bee scratching her way to the top, sees the tube at this point, and Yellow Killer Bee continues to extend her lead. Fish, we've already seen a variety of obstacles. More springs coming up here. Yellow Killer Bee trying to go on the treadmill. A couple of treadmills up in the air, though. I wonder if those coins should lead her there, Fish.
Right, yeah, it feels like you want to follow the coins typically when you see these kind of levels, and the arrows specifically. The on-off switch is a new feature here in this Mario Maker 2, which actually turns the directions of the conveyor belts, and Yellow Killer Bee makes it all the way to the finish line.
Buzz. Yellow Killer Bee, the first one to cross the finish line. Impressive right there. Dragon Feeny will have 30 seconds left to finish up the level. We see already these alternating pink and blue blocks. You have to have a lot of really precise timing with this here, 9.
Yep, you saw right there. If you don't get the jump off at the right time, you will fall through. And that's the difference between this left and right side. This is more timing based, whereas that right side was about identifying which block you had to use.
Okay.
Dragon Feeny avoiding some blocks right there, hopping on top of those happy
Yes.
clouds, getting inside the tube. Yellow Killer Bee, meanwhile, just sitting back, chilling. She already crossed the goal. An impressive job by our first 2 speedrunners handling that. And as we said, Fish, it's all about learning with the obstacles and adapting. And we saw that especially with Yellow Killer Bee as Cat Mario on that green moving platform. It seemed like she finally found her rhythm after a couple of tries.
Right, yeah, it really is all about using the climb, I think, with Cat Mario, because you can go just a little bit higher, and then from there
Next one. I actually want this one to win too, because I know this Puss's channel, and I knew the other Puss's channel too that I wanted to win, but didn't. So hopefully this guy wins.
Question block, but we've got the completionist, he's trying to complete the level already, Fish. It's all about the speed here, rather.
Right. He wants to make sure he hits all the little blocks as soon as he can, but he gets a little power up that the other players kind of avoided because they're going for the speedrun aspect, right? They're just trying to power through it. And again, both players going for the right side.
And that's what we see right here, Nine, taking that exclamation point. Maybe it's the big yellow blocks that just draw your attention, but already the completionist figuring out the trick of using that ground pound. Abdallah, though, losing a life and having to go back to the beginning. Huge lead for the completionist here now.
It is, and one more block we saw. This takes you almost right up. Can he complete the whole jump? Can he salvage this? It looks like he is. Great spin all the way through. What a fantastic save there by the completionist. Checkpoint reached.
The aerial acrobatics to find himself in the cart portion at this point, and as you said, very precise jumps needed during this part if you want to avoid an accident. Those springs already trying to deter the completionist. And you take a look on the side, on the left-hand side with the completionist, those springs knocking him off. Abdallah, right now on the right-hand side of your screen, doing a great job bouncing off those platforms, Fish.
Right. I like that there's no hesitation from Abdallah's end there, because if you hesitate a little bit on this course, you end up actually hitting those springs that we saw earlier there. And Abdallah not jumping also towards the end of that area is actually very clutch, because a lot of players are tricked up by it and they end up jumping a little bit and having to do that entire course again.
Abdallah moving on to the Cat Mario portion. Meanwhile, the completionist, well, he's just trying to lock some miles. We'll just put it that way. Cat Mario 9, you have to understand different physics can jump a little bit higher.
It is, and already going that way. And once again, going over to the green side here. The block on the left side does move a little bit quicker here, so it's a little bit easier if you want to get the speed, but sometimes that means you'll miss it too. Thinks they're going to try it right here.
And that's a good point. The rhythm that comes with being on the left-hand side, a little bit more natural because those blocks move faster, but Vish, Abdallah struggling just a little bit with the block portion, giving the completionist some time to catch up, but looks like the completionist
oh no,
is just going for a
I'm voting for this side.
Definitely. It feels like Abdallah is just trying to
Abdallah. I'm voting for Abdallah. So not the completionist. Abdallah.
Is really not going to be helpful in a course like this that's very tight in terms of wall jumps.
And that's a good point, Nine. We were talking to Abdallah prior to this competition. He said the physics for Cat Mario very tricky. He pointed that out, and early on already having to deal with it. Meanwhile, the completionist in the Cat Mario stage has a chance to catch up here.
This is very close right here. Just one more jump, and the completionist will be really about even with them once they get to that checkpoint here. And I think Abdallah's starting to figure it out there. Instead of standing on top of that very slow green platform, instead maybe using it to try to climb up. But it looks like he's found another way. That creativity paying off.
Right. Slow and steady wins the race. With the green blocks, they do end up doing so, which allowed Abdallah to really think out what movements he wanted to do and do the climb right before his jump. So he will make it to the next portion here. And again, you got to follow those coins and you got to follow those arrows.
Abdallah at the end just has to climb those last moving treadmills, as you see here. There's one, there's two. And here's one of those on-off switches that can affect so many different things, but Cat Mario,
no!
This is the exclamation mark. It has to go all the way back to the bottom. Here comes the completionist in the block portion. Is there enough time for him to catch up? Don't forget, they're racing our winner from the earlier round.
Let's
right
go.
Now. We'll see how that time stacks up.
Yes!
Abdallah reaches the top of the pole first, and we'll have 30 more seconds for the completionist just to play around with Super Mario Maker 2 and have some fun there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to complete the level right now, and he really wants to see what else is in there. I appreciate it.
16 seconds left, but you talk about the different physics that you have to get used to, and already you're implementing traps and hazards from 2D side scrollers. You've got Super Mario 3D World and Cat Mario trying to handle that. You've got springs, moving blocks, so many things you have to account for here, Nine.
Yes, and I think that right here, as we do see that time tick away, it really was not understanding the Cat Mario physics. They kind of threw him off there. There was a chance to climb the wall earlier, but instead looking for a more traditional wall jump. I think
he's kind of PG, but I know him.
It's surprising how high Cat Mario can jump.
I already saw the other one, but not by the two girls. So I'm gonna watch the two girls. But I already saw the other stage with the two boys. So let's see the two girls.
3, 2, 1.
These are actually two people.
As we
at
said,
the same time.
Co-op mode, Mario, Luigi, a little Super Mario World action here.
I don't know who I want
the
to
competitors,
win.
when we were talking to them, said they are very familiar with this. So if there's ever going to be a mode that they will know what to do, this is going to be the time.
Early on, you see a bit of an obstacle here, trying to get to the top shelf. There's an on switch just staring you in the face. Dragon Feeny, Yellow Killer V, that figured it out. But now they've got to advance Luigi on the bottom. They're starting to slowly figure it out. Hitting those on-off switches, opening up the gates, allowing them to progress here, Vish.
Yeah, and like we're talking about, one person is doing the on-off, and the other person is just waiting. And in this particular moment, this is where the timing matters, right? Because he has to turn the switch on, and then the blue block will appear, and he has to jump on it. He has to do that 2 or 3 times, and they both make it to the second round at basically the same time.
I know,
Both
they
teams
both
sneaking through the
do.
door at the same time. Now you see a swinging crane floating at the top. They're trying to jump off of each other's heads to grab it, use those physics to advance. Oh, Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee moving forward, but there is a P block right there. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that switch here, 9.
The best prize that you could ever get at the end of a crane game pair. Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee move. They both get in at the same time. I cannot believe how close this is already. And now we see the switches again. It's going to be very important that they identify this because they are both moving at incredible speed.
And you see Abdallah, the completionist, slightly further ahead than the Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee. Don't forget, whatever team wins advances to the finals where they face off against each other. Abdallah, the completionist, hitting that power block, getting the spring to go. Mario trying to jump up with that spring, advances. Luigi on your right-hand side, just a few seconds behind here, Vish.
This is a really tight race. They are just neck and neck right now. They're really figuring out all the things they need to do, and like throwing the power block up there to get the spring. And now they just have one more little obstacle to complete here. They only passed the power block to the top there. That timing.
Past the gravy and past the power block as that vine comes down. And Dragon Feeny,
Oh,
Yellow
then
Killer
two of
Bee,
you winning.
they advance. Abdallah, the completionist, kicking it too high. It is exhausting having to grab a new power block. Here comes another on-off section here, though, 9, and this is going to require a lot of communication, it looks like.
This one is a little bit tricky. The last time that we saw this switch, it was a little bit more obvious what you need to do. Here, there's going to be some bouncing that's involved. You can't get to it with a normal jump.
Abdallah and the completionist now equal with the Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee. And Vish, this is what we talked about. Seeing a puzzle in front of you and figuring out what do I do with all the tools at my disposal.
Right. I think just even like exploring a level or just like going through and seeing what options you do have could really help you out in a juncture like this.
You see Abdallah and the completionist on that left-hand side trying to jump onto the red block. They advance Mario right there. Ooh, what do you do here, 9? This looks precarious.
Well, they got to figure it out quick. 1, 2, just a little late. The right idea. But unfortunately, the right idea is not enough. You got to start all over again.
And it comes to the execution we talked about, Vish. You can have the right idea, but at the end of the day, your thumbs have to be in sync with your brain.
Yeah, I mean, in a speedrun like this, you usually get like one try at most in terms of learning that kind of idea here. So he can't mess up again because you have to start all the way from the beginning. Will he get the timing down this time? You can see them biding their time.
She missed the gate on him. Shuts the gate on him. Said, no, you can't come in for dinner.
Oh, no.
Abdallah and the completionist going back to the beginning. Meanwhile, Dragon Feeny, Yellow Killer Bee still trying to find the rhythm. But 9, this is an important point. You see a trap.
Okay,
how
come
quickly
on,
can
you
go
got
back
this.
through the puzzle, give yourself as many chances as possible.
Yes!
That quickly
Let's
is how
go.
they can get to it there. Both sides know what they need to do. It's
Yes.
just a matter
Ooh,
of
I love
execution.
off
And as
and
we
on
get to another
switches.
room right here, it's up to the Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee to get through this as fast as possible. And keep in mind, these red and blue blocks are now automatically switching off. And that's a feature with the on-off switch here, Vish. Other items could turn it on and off. But now that skull track is gone, let's go through the door and see what happens after that. Abdallah and the completionist. One room ahead on this course over Dragon Feeny and Yellow Killer Bee. They're going to give themselves another chance on the left here. Trying to time things out. It looks like they might have figured this out. And Abdallah
And they did it!
taking the carpool through the tube. Is that going to be enough as you take a look coming out the pipe? One more trap here, though, 9.
It's a trap and also a new feature. They immediately go to grab each other. 1, 2.
Oh, the air ball is just short. Abdallah and the completionist trying to close out this course and advance to the
Let's go!
Abdallah and the completionist high fives and
They
dap
did
around as they move on to the finals. Nicely done. Fantastic execution, and you see all the things you can do in co-op play, Vish. How about the teamwork by those two?
Oh man, you could really see the teamwork coming together as the course even progressed, right? Like you could see them really on point with their timing. As soon as they got that one
So,
red
let's
blue
see if
block
there's
at the start,
another
we have to
one.
do it twice in order to.
There's still another video, so let's go on and watch it.
And let's roll here. Both players hitting that play button at the same time. Finals 1, a little Super Mario 3 here, 9.
Well, you knew we were going to get it coming up eventually, and it's going to be reaching the goal after hitting.
Oops, guys, sorry about that.
Best of 3, and as we say,
What?
very nicely.
This always happens. I'm sorry you guys didn't get to see this stage, but hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Bye.